Compact sedans are a little bit like mud wrestling. It's tough to pick a winner, and even the champion isn't really clean. This is the 2016 Dodge Dart, a car that gets dirtier than them all. Now, it's fair to say that the Dart is not necessarily the car that Dodge needed it to be, but the question is it the car that you want it to be? There's only one way to find out. Up front is a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder married to a semi-lucid 6-speed automatic transmission. If you're curious about power, and you're probably not, the 2.4 liter 4 makes 184 horsepower, 174 pound-feet of torque, and that's good enough for a 0 to 60 run in just a little over 8 seconds, which is not the quickest in its class, but it's not painfully slow either. It'll get up and go. It'll make a lot of noise when you do it though. The 2.4 liter 4 is tops of the range in the Dart, which also includes a 2 liter 4 in the base model and a 1.4 liter turbo in its Eco model. Both of those engines have less power and struggle a little to get the big car moving, but at least the Turbo 4 bumps the mileage into the 40 miles per gallon range, which is a big help in the segment. The 2.4 liter 4 is my pick in the class and is worth the $2,400 step up from base to get it, and that price includes other features such as an upgraded radio and interior. The 2.4 liter 4 and 6-speed automatic combine for 35 miles per gallon on the highway, which isn't as frugal as the new Honda Civic or the Hyundai Elantra. In the city, the Dart manages only 23 miles per gallon in stop-and-go traffic, and that's only on a good day. The Dart comes equipped with standard, common safety features such as airbags, stability control, and a backup camera on most models, but can add blind spot monitoring, cross-path detection, and parking sonar on limited and GT models for $1,095 extra. Most Darts above the base model come with some form of Dodge's Uconnect system and sport an 8.4-inch touchscreen. The limited trim comes with navigation as standard, which is optional on the other trims such as the Aero and GT. The base model makes do with a radio and 4 speakers, including an audio input jack if you're wondering. There's not much to write home to the folks about when it comes to powertrain. It's not necessarily the fastest in its class. It's 23 miles per gallon city and 35 miles per gallon highway is respectable, but it's not, it's not world beating. Considering that the Dart doesn't have any tricks in the powertrain bag, it needs something else. It's its size. Now, bigger isn't always better, and if it were, we'd be driving around in city buses by now. But the Dart is massive. It's just big. It's basically a mid-sized car for compact money, which is good value, if you're into that sort of thing. The Dart's 97.2 cubic feet of passenger space is tops in its class, more than the Civic and Chevrolet Cruze. The Dart's 13.1 cubic feet of cargo room is around the middle, smaller than some in its class, most likely because of a bigger passenger compartment. This particular Dart is an SXT, which is not all that far from base. It has cloth seats, navigation, front wheel drive, and comes in at $23,245, which is pretty modest, but poor lonely journalists like me need to buy cars too. The Dart does its best to avoid penalty box detail by spending its money in places like infotainment, a 7-inch TFT display when equipped, and NVH improvements. Actually, one of the biggest benefits to the Dart is the fact that it's super quiet inside. I mean, it's unbelievably, it's like coffin quiet in here, which is really good, helps out a lot. Makes for kind of easy commutes, and you can crank up the tunes, that's just fine. All told, this is about $23,000, which is a little high for its class, and it's pretty modestly equipped. There's others to look at, like the Ford, Mazda, Volkswagen, even with a Golf and a Jetta. Now, if you believe what you read, and I never believe what I read, but this should be the last year for the Dart for this look. Next year, there should be some badly needed upgrades to the exterior, maybe some interior, but the powertrain's probably gonna stay the same. If you're shopping in the compact class, this is definitely worth a look, but the Dart has a little bit of mud in its eye. Hi, click the link below to read the story on the CarGurus website. Thanks.